Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to show you where you can find your 3.3 social studies lesson, the Roaring Twenties, and we'll talk about what you need to do in order to complete that assignment. I'm going to scroll down and click on my social studies course. The HTS supplemental resources are found at the bottom here, and we're looking for Module 3, the federal expansion, and then we're looking for 3.3, the Roaring Twenties, the third one down. And then you're going to click it on lesson 3.3 Roaring Twenties, and this will bring you to the lesson. Make sure you go and read through all of this independently, and I'm going to go through it now with you. It says, following World War I, life in the United States and South Carolina changed economically and culturally. This time period became known as the Roaring Twenties. Let's find out why. And as you're working through this lesson, boys and girls, as you're working through these steps 1 through 7, you're going to want to make sure that you have the Social Studies 3.3 assessment sheet, which is at the bottom here under attachments. So I'm going to open that up. You're going to be completing this as your assignment, and you'll be submitting this as your assignment. It's a 2-page assessment, 6 questions. You're also going to need your KWLH chart that you've been working on throughout these modules. You do not have to submit it for this lesson, but you do need to have it out because you're going to be adding to it. So I'm going to go back up to the top here. This is just a note that as you're working through all parts of this lesson, you're going to be completing the Social Studies 3.3 assessment, which is attached below. I just opened that up. This yellow highlighted piece is just making sure that you are getting your answers from the assessment. We're not Googling answers. I'm sorry, you're getting your answers for the assessment from this page right here, okay? From the videos, from the article. We're not Googling answers, okay? We put these together so I know where your answers, I know what answers you should be using based on the sources. So if you're going to be Googling answers, I will know because I'll know that you didn't get them from the sources here. And then again, you can print the assessment, you can screenshot it, or you can use that Books app to complete the assessment. All right, so step 1, you're going to take out your KWLH chart that you've been using throughout this module, and you're going to complete the K and the W columns, writing the things that you know and the things that you want to know about the Roaring Twenties. Please don't skip this step because at some point you are going to turn in your completed KWLH chart for an assignment grade. So make sure that you complete it, each of these steps with this KWLH chart so that you're not behind on it. Step 2, you're going to watch the video, the Roaring Twenties video 2 times. The first time you're going to watch it, you're just watching it to get the big idea. The second time you're going to watch it, you're going to identify specific reasons this time period is known as the Roaring Twenties. After you're done watching the video, you're going to go to step 3, and you're going to answer questions 1 through 3 on the Social Studies 3.3 assessment. Let's go take a look at what questions 1 through 3 are. Number 1, you're drawing a picture. Describe a mental picture using words or write symbols and emojis to summarize the topic. So for number 1, you can either draw a picture, you can describe a picture using words, or you can use emojis and symbols to summarize the topic of that video. Number 2, key vocabulary about the Roaring Twenties. So as you watch that video, what are some key vocabulary words that stand out? And number 3, you're summarizing your ideas by using the keywords from above in a paragraph about the topic. So you're going to be writing a paragraph here, boys and girls, using the keywords that you list in number 2. You can check off the words. I have check boxes here as you use them in your paragraph. Then circle the keywords in your paragraph. So as you're writing them, check them off and circle them in your paragraph. So as you're writing the paragraph right here, you're going to circle the keywords, those key vocabulary words as you use them in your paragraph. Remember, a paragraph needs an introduction sentence, several sentences using your keywords, and a conclusion sentence. Don't forget to indent, and your summary paragraph should be about 5 to 6 sentences. So I'm looking for 5 to 6 sentences here. All right, so that's step 3. Step 4, you're going to read or listen to the article, the Roaring Twenties article. If you click here, you can read the article. If you click here, it's an audio of the article being read, so you can listen to the article being read. And then you're going to answer questions 4 through 6 on your Social Studies 3.3 assessment. So let's go look at what those questions are. These are your article questions. Number 4, what is one reason this time period is known as the Roaring Twenties? Again, you're going to get that answer from the reading, from the article. Number 5, what do you feel was the greatest accomplishment or achievement during this time? Why do you think that way, or why do you feel that way? Explain your answer. Make sure you explain why you feel that whatever you put down is the greatest accomplishment or achievement. And then number 6, would you have liked to live during this time period? Why or why not? Make sure you explain why or why you would not want to live during this time period. That completes the assessment pages. So step 6, you're going to upload the Social Studies 3.3 assessment. For step 6, you'll have a blue plus button here that you can attach your work. And then step 7, you're going to complete the L and the H columns of your KWLH chart about what you learned about the Roaring Twenties. And again, if you're doing this in your notebook, great. If not, you're just going to continue to fill out that worksheet if you printed it. You do not have to turn in your KWLH chart. You'll have some time to turn that in a different lesson. You're just turning in the 3.3 assessment, but you do want to make sure that you're doing these steps with the KWLH chart so that when it's time to turn it in, you'll be able to turn it in.